Welcome to this Kuru Insights video, where we're looking at open source based virtualization as an alternative to proprietary virtualization technologies such as VMware and Hyper-V. Today, research estimates that 2/3 of all workloads are virtualized, and this figure is increasing. The market leader and pioneer is VMware, whose technology has delivered benefits to enterprises worldwide. These include significant savings from consolidation and by using abstraction delivered an increased choice of hardware vendors. However, enterprises now find themselves trapped by their choice of virtualization vendor, and let's face it, VMware is not cheap. As a result, many users have started to look at second vendor virtualization, and with most customers running Windows, their obvious choice would be to look at Hyper-V, Microsoft's virtualization technology. We all know that when something is free, it isn't always the best. Whilst Hyper-V is now free with Windows, being built into the operating system, its management tools are expensive and complex. Surprisingly, many people are unaware of the performance benefits and cost savings of putting their Linux workloads onto a Linux-based hypervisor. What's more, the vast majority of public cloud service providers, Amazon, Google, and Netflix, have chosen to go open source. When going open source, an increased number of organizations are choosing the #1 supported open source hypervisor, KVM. And that's where Red Hat Enterprise Virtualization really wins. Red Hat has taken the KVM hypervisor and built all of the enterprise features that you'd expect, plus a few that you wouldn't. Linux is widely accepted to be more secure, higher performing, and more scalable than other operating systems. With KVM being a kernel module, these benefits are built in. We believe that the best Linux-based virtualization solution on the market is Red Hat Enterprise Virtualization for 4 clear reasons. Firstly, it hits the top benchmarks for performance, with 10 of the top 15 published results on SpecVirt using Red Hat's KVM. Secondly, when it comes to scalability, the only 8-socket performance benchmark published on SpecVirt is running KVM. And with support for 4 terabytes of RAM per host and up to 160 virtual CPUs in a virtual machine, it leads the market. Thirdly, Red Hat Enterprise's virtualization offers significant savings of up to 80% when compared to VMware when consolidating Linux workloads. And finally, it's easy to manage with a simple, easy-to-use, web-based graphical user interface that looks and feels very familiar. As a result, it's no surprise that Red Hat's Enterprise Virtualization has been adopted by major global organizations, including British Airways, Sky, and Intel. Let me give an example of a Kuru-led project using this technology. Bonhams, the international auctioneers, has been a Kuru client for many years in the UK. 6 years ago, we overtook their global responsibility for their IT, with immediate focus on supporting the growing business in the USA. The UK had been using VMware, but the cost to support a US coast-to-coast disaster recovery capability would have been exorbitant. We used Red Hat Enterprise Virtualization with our own in-house developed DR solution to transform the IT infrastructure in the USA. The results were impressive, reducing server numbers by up to 75% and licensing and maintenance costs by over 50%. In addition to the cost savings, the solution was a catalyst for moving the UK operation from VMware to Red Hat. In our experience, it rapidly delivers real business benefits and cuts costs. In fact, the whole project for the Bonhams US operation cost less than 1 year's VMware support. If you want to break out of the constraints of proprietary virtualization technology and cut costs, then I strongly recommend that you look at Red Hat's Enterprise Virtualization.